So I'm sitting under the radiator of the Kenworth, smearing silicone round. I don't know if you can see. There we go. It's been leaking out of there. It's leaking out of the bottom hose, and I'm just trying to seal up, or well, not seal up, but reduce the amount of water that can escape, just for when I take it down to the unit. Once it's there, I'll remake this bottom radiator tank that's absolutely fucked, and I'll remake the bottom radiator hose as well. Everything under here is just horrible though. Gonna have to disassemble the spring packs and shake all the loose rust off with the air hammer or needle gun, and then re-grease them.
this and just power wash it off with hot stuff.
Yeah.
In the past 3 months.
So I've come in Monday morning after sort of a weekend off. Last thing we did was pressure wash the truck, and now I'm just sweeping up the rust that's fallen off it. Quite a lot, to be fair. But it looks a hell of a lot better now it's had a clean and it's dried off. Gonna try and unbolt the sleeper cab and lift that off at some point in the next few days, as well as start to change out all 10 tyres. So I've got 10 fresh ones at the back of the shop. Didn't realise that the diffs were orange until I started cleaning it. There's the Eaton 2-speed. And the old bag setup. I actually reckon these inner ones would probably work again, but the ones on the rear axle probably won't. Either way, I'm just going to match these to a new set of Dunlops and sort that out. Put them on a switch, and then if I need to, I can raise and lower the back end of the truck if I'm hitching up to anything, or if for any reason it just needs to be a bit taller, like as a viewing platform at a show. Gonna try and work out what ratio these diffs are now. It says 668 in the book, well, in the bill of materials that I got, but I'm not sure if they've been changed out. 2 people have told me this truck's done 80 miles an hour, which with 668s is impossible. So it's kind of got to be down around 410s, 411s for it to be able to hit that in top gear. I may also consider putting in a second overdrive unit. Well, sorry, an overdrive unit, so it's got the low and direct on that, and then in between it a direct and overdrive. So I thought I'd take the sleeper cab off, and it's amazed me, but that is coming undone. So if the other 3 come off like this, I'll be very, very happy. Had to double up, but it is coming. Taken about half an hour to get to this stage. But I'm amazed that one came undone. 3 more to go to remove the sleeper. It reached the point where I just couldn't get to the front ones. So, big chisel, big hammer, 4-inch grinder. Cut most of the way through, just going to knock them off. And then it's just the electrical cables to cut. I think they're only lighting for the inside, and I'll try and lift it off with the forklift later. First time I've been under this, finding a few new jobs to do, but I'm under here to cut the inner 2 bolts on the sleeper cab mount. Rear output seal on the transmission's leaking. That's a nice easy job, and it will want a little bit of welding up top. Other than that, oh, and a little bit down bottom. Yeah, other than that, it's still pretty solid. Oh, this will want fixing as well. That's the transfer case lever, and I don't know whether it's in high or low. In fact, that is shoved forward, that's pulled forwards, so that's got to be in low range, which explains why the truck was really fucking slow. Yeah, I'll have to sort that. Hopefully it's just a case of greasing it and manhandling it back in and out of the case a few times. So you take some emery cloth to the selector shaft as well.
Plan B didn't work. Plan fire, here we go.
Going really, really well, this. It's fucking not. It's really fucking not. Well, I've got the cab off now, or not the cab, the sleeper. All the bolts have either been gas axed at the front, and I've managed to knock them down and off. It is absolutely roasting today. It's like low 30s, which I don't know what that is in American, like 80s or high 90s maybe, I don't know. Anyway, gonna take that off tomorrow with the forklift, or maybe in a little while if I've got motivation. But yeah, that's gonna be the first big job really. And then I did hit this earlier. It is just rotten, so I've got steel to redo this. I had to sweep all the Kenworth off the floor earlier, and I'll have to do it again now. At one point this was like 4mm thick, and now it's just absolutely rotten. While I'm outside, do a little size comparison versus a sort of a regular British sized car. So I raided my steel stock at the back, and I've also made a sort of DIY fender kit. It's all 3mm. The checker plate I had to buy in, and a few of the other big bits, but that'll give me enough steel. It's all the right dimensions now to just remake all this lot. So it's been a fucking horrible sweaty day today. I've done as much as I can on the truck. Got the cab mounts, so all the sleeper cab mounts cut off, so that's ready to lift off tomorrow. That'll be in the next video. I've also gone as far as opening up the sleeper cab to try and let some of the smell out, and so I can easily empty it out tomorrow once it's lifted off. Just to give you an idea of the scale of this thing. So yeah, absolutely massive. I don't think you don't quite get the sense of how big it is until you're up next to it. I'll give you a quick look at what's in the sleeper, and then I'm calling it a day because I'm knackered. Oh. Lots of spider webs, lots of spiders as well actually, and it's just grim in here. There's a horrid musty smell from the plywood that's rotted out, and all the other crap that's just been left in here. Don't know what that is, don't want to know. It's going in the bin. Someone else's overalls, odd little bits of shit. You can see it did have AC in it. Hopefully all the electrics for that still work, so I can simply just replumb the AC lines, but if not, I will fit AC to this. Some sort of aftermarket system like Vintage Air, and I'm 50-50 on stretching the sleeper cab. It's a fiberglass roof and it's alley side panel, so it's really nice and easy to just put in a little extra, but at the same time it's more work than it's probably worth, especially when I can just tow a caravan or something else if I go to a show. Moving to the back, as you see, the top hydraulic hose, or the return hose, is rotted off, so there's no way I'm going to bother trying to fire up the hydraulic system. You can see the big Vickers pump down there, and then there's a smaller pump, another Vickers I believe, just bolted to the, oh, I can't get a good angle from this side. There you go. That little pump drives the legs that lower to stabilise the whole shebang when it's upright. That's it. All I'm going to do is lower the legs manually, and then I'll weld them to the structure in the upright position, pull this whole lot over using another truck, and when it's upright I'll just gas axe it out. So obviously come up the side with the gas axe, and I think if I chop the ram, chop these bits top and bottom, that then leaves the billet loose, at which point the scrap company can come along with the crane. Well, they say their crane will take it. I don't believe them, so we'll see. If it doesn't take it, it might be a case of using 2 scrap wagons, but if they're coming out for a 12-ton chunk of heavy steel, I'm sure they'll sort something. I'm just waiting for it to go back up in price because it's halved in recent weeks. So what would have netted me around £5,000 is now down around 2,000, which I'm not going to take. And then we're going to keep the Deutz, and I will probably use that with a smaller hydraulic tank to power a crane. I'm thinking a high-ab crane on this would make it very usable, because I'm not going to get a fifth wheel trailer for it. It's just too tall for UK fifth wheel trailers, and I doubt I'd find an old one which is exempt in good enough condition for me to then modify and raise the neck on. If I can find one, there's the big fifth wheel on my other wagon. I can always pinch that. That's only a 100-ton fifth wheel, but this is never going to tow 500 tons again. So it doesn't need a ballast box style one, and I'm most definitely not going to pay for it. I'm more than happy to bobtail with either of these and use a drawbar trailer or a drag trailer, whatever you call them, stateside, I'm not sure, but the ones that sort of attach onto a NATO pintle hitch. I'm also pretty sure this has drained all its fluid out, the big 100-gallon hydraulic tank, because it sounds empty to me. Anyway, as I'm going to call it a day for this, or yeah, call it a day at the workshop, and the end of this video as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll try and upload another one as soon as possible. But it's meant to have a load of heat this week, and then next week it's meant to piss it down, heavy rain, thunderstorms, etc. So we'll see. It's the UK. Odds are the weatherman's lying.